It is the last day of our brush sale, and we are featuring the Shape brush today, as well as Bella Bronzer and the Illuminator. So I decided I'm going to do my entire face with this one brush. You've probably not seen it because this is from our Demi line, but it is almost like the smaller version of the blush bronzer. So this is the blush bronzer, this is the Shape brush, and it is very similar in that it's going to give you a really nice light application. Is so good for blending and really good for using for bronzer and illuminator. So follow along. I'm going to do a quick makeup for you today and then feature those specific items. So I'm going to go into my main highlight. I'm going to see if this will cover on its own today since it's getting slightly better. If not, I will go over with my color corrector color. But because, look at that coverage! Just this really lightweight brush goes over all that redness and covers it up so nicely. So this Shape brush is actually a Demi brush. So Demi is a different line of makeup that Saint sells that is very different application, but I am using this brush for my 3D foundation today. And you can see, look at, it's like a second skin. There's no makeup coming off, but still getting that really nice evened out skin tone. I really, really like using this brush in the summertime because it will give you that like second skin look while still evening everything out and you don't feel like cake face. Then I'm gonna go on here and add in this brightener. I'm using the small end of the Shape brush for this. I really do think that this is a good brush, and often people miss out on it because it's from the Demi line, so you're just not as familiar with it. And also probably just because I haven't I don't feature it as often because I often just go to my blush bronzer brush because it's just so accessible right there. But today I was like, wait a second, my Shape brush is so good and I do use it for this kind of stuff. So why don't I show it? So I'm adding in a little bit of dusting of my brightener. I say dusting, but how do you dust a cream product? I don't know. I do not know. So now this one, you can absolutely do your contour with the small end, and I'll show you. So I'm just dusting it in here, and you're gonna blend as you go with this. So we're gonna just do like a light application rather than, sometimes I will just go in and actually just draw a stripe. Here I'm just blending as we go, and see how natural this whole look is becoming. Just like this. Like that. Across my forehead here. I am feeling so tired. So if you've been following along in my stories this week, you know my son has been in and out of the hospital, just to ER. He's totally fine. Kids are so crazy this week because he was so sick, like just absolutely so sick. I haven't actually seen him that sick in a very long time, if ever. I was so nervous for him. And then the day we spent on, whatever day was it? Tuesday, we were back in the ER. I was really concerned for him. And then the next day he woke up and was like, did a complete 180. He was like, yay. I obviously kept him home because I was like keeping an eye on his fever, which was like so high. No fever. I was just like, what is even going on? But now that I know that he's fine, it's like I have personally just I've had like this emotional crash the last couple days. I'm on the edge of crying, but you know when you can't cry? Anyway, sorry, this is becoming like a me. But it's been a week. So if I don't look as bright-eyed and peppy today, that's why. I'm just processing a lot of emotions. Okay, this is the best part. This is where I'm going to add in my bronzer. So I've put on a light amount of contour, a very light amount of highlights. I'm now going to go into this fluffy end of the Shape brush, and I'm swirling it around into my bronzer, and I'm just going to bring it into the high points of my face. So I'm just going to bring it, you can layer it too. So I'm bringing it into kind of like a C around that brow and on the top of my cheekbone. And do you see how this brings in so much warmth? So bronzer is obviously has pigment, but it is a sheer pigment. So it won't have the same coverage as like your highlights or your contour does, but it does bring in all of this like glowy warmth. So I do not skip bronzer ever. And if I do, it's by mistake and I feel like washed out and not my normal self. Isn't this beautiful how it just adds in? It looks like I've been on the beach, this summer glow, without actually putting this pretty little skin in the sun. All right, so I'm just gonna clean up that blending because I went all over. Isn't that beautiful? Shape brush. Now I'm gonna go in with my cream illuminator. So I'm switching over my brush. I'm placing it in this. This is Honey, and I'm placing it on the top of my cheekbone. Now it's gonna be super subtle. Is the light catching it here? See? So I'm putting it on the top, and it'll just give this very gentle glow. And so these three products, the bronzer, the illuminator, I might just use my finger in here for a little bit extra. There we go. The illuminator, the bronzer, and this shape brush today are in a little bundle for 24 hours only and are 20% off. Such a good deal. It's like $52 in the US, 70 something in Canada. So worth it because you can do your entire face with this brush. I just did. Look at this. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in and put on a little bit of lip and cheek color. So I'm starting with this brand new color called Melody. This is a matte color and it's really quite light and summery. It's like a coral. You see this going on here? Oh, it's so pretty. Just adds a little bit, punches up the color, hey? Like no melody here, but still super natural and sun-kissed. So I'm just gonna add that in. I also sometimes in the summer like to wrap this right over my nose. You know how your nose looks like it gets a little bit sun-kissed? So you add that in there like that. And then I'm also gonna bring a little bit of Homecoming right over top. So these are very similar, although this is a matte and this is a semi-gloss. So it brings in a lot more of the sheen. It's very light, very lightweight, but brings in a little bit of sheen. And then I'm gonna do the same for my lips. So I'm just gonna use my finger for this since we're doing kind of a very natural summer look today. This is Melody on its own. Isn't that so pretty? And then I'm gonna put a little bit of Homecoming just to add the gloss. Sometimes I love mattes because of the pigment, but because my lips are sometimes dry, especially right now, see how it kind of gets a little creasy in there? So I like adding a little bit of semi-gloss on top, and it gets rid of that. Isn't that, oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful, like just natural summer look. Love it. Okay, I'm doing my brows now. So today, all of my kids are finally in school again. I feel like the last 2 weeks, because everybody's been sick, I've had at least one boy at home with me for the last 2 weeks, which is great. And I'm super grateful that I have the ability to do that. I don't have to worry about juggling around work and all that kind of stuff. But it is finally a day that I have just to myself where I'm able to get some work done. So what I'm doing today is getting our huge beauty bash. So my team, we're over 1,000 people already, are creating this huge summer beauty bash. And it's just gonna be showing simple tutorials like this, summer makeup tips. We're gonna go over some different sunscreens we suggest, lots of different makeup tutorials, and we have over $1,800 worth of prizes. So there is like Beats by Dre that we're giving away, a ton of makeup, Lululemon, gift cards. What else? There's something else that was really fantastic that I was like, oh gosh. Oh, one of those, It's like, I can't remember the brand. It's kind of like a Stanley, but it's a different brand, and they're so good. And it's in this cute little cheetah print. So many good things. So I am going to be working on that today. So if you want to have an invite to that so you can be a part of it, get in on all the prizes, send me a quick DM, or maybe I'll also post it in my stories and you can go click on it and I'll make sure you get added. But there we go. A super easy, natural summer makeup look. Got rid of all these blemishes and just got this beautiful glow all from this Shape brush. So I'm going to go repost this. If you're watching this on June 16th, go and comment. Let me know that you would like the link. I'll send you the direct link and you can get this for 20% off today. And otherwise, have a great rest of your day. I hope it is joyful and that you are able to see all the blessings around you today. All right, bye.